Hey, it's Carolyn. I'm here with you today for our collective card pull, and so we'll see what message wants to come through. As always, it's a collective reading, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest. And so the card that we have says focus, being deliberate with your attention. So let's take a close-up look at the card, and then we'll get into the deeper message. So when I look at the image that's on this card, there's a couple of things that stand out to me. First is it looks like the third eye is represented here, and we might notice that the person's physical eyes are shut, which tells me that this person is tuning inwards and also connecting with the third eye. And so when we look at this in terms of focus and thinking about what we want to be focusing our attention on, this brings me to the concepts of mental rehearsal and imaginal rehearsal. We hear about these concepts a lot in connection with manifestation or the law of assumption, but these concepts are actually really grounded in psychology too. And so as you're thinking about what it is that either you're wanting to experience in your life, changes that you want to experience in life, the version of yourself that you're looking to connect with and become in life, the way that we can think about this is it's going to start with a shift within you, and that starts with going inwards and tuning inwards. Now, as I'm recording this, there's a marching band that's playing outside my place, and so I don't know if you're hearing that come through in the sounds at all, but we can even think a marching band moves forward and there's a rhythm, right? And a beat. And just thinking about how all of the different players and instrumentalists, need to come together. And then we also have somebody who is leading or directing the marching band. And so we can also connect this to what it is that we're wanting to create. And so in order for us to be able to move forward and experience something differently, there is an inner shift that needs to take place first. And so what we do, a process for this, is to tune inwards, and you're going to engage your imagination and start to think about what is it that you want to be experiencing. Notice how it feels as you imagine this. Notice who is there. What sounds do you hear? Is anybody cheering you on? And you want to try to make this image as large as you can, so it feels just really big and bright in your imagination. And this is something that then you can revisit with repetition over and over and over again. And so the beauty with this is as we do this, it starts to create some more neural pathways in the brain. And we can think the neural pathways that we've developed are already connected with our habits and our routines and things that tend to be more automatic. And so when we think about just old thoughts, maybe things that we don't want to be experiencing, that it might become easy to focus on or ruminate on, we're looking to weaken some of those neural pathways and instead increase and build some of these new ones. So then it's going to feel more automatic to be focusing on what it is that we want to be creating, because that's what's going to be most helpful in the long run, right? Dr. Joe Dispenza has a strategy that when you start to notice the old creeping back in, whether it's the old patterns or the old thoughts or the old way of being, to notice that and tell yourself change, okay? And we can think change your focus. And so overall with this card, it's thinking about how can you be conscious and deliberate with your intention. And so it's really noticing, what are you focusing on? The brain can so easily replay old memories, old stories that aren't so helpful and might be connected to stress or pain. that's experienced or even fears, okay? But we want to try to shift your attention to something that feels it's more serving for you and more connected to what you want to be experiencing and creating and the version of yourself that you want to be becoming. And we can almost think that we want like a spotlight to be shine down on what it is that we want to be creating so that our focus goes there. So, some questions for reflection. What would it look like to be more intentional with your focus? Are you giving more energy to what you want to grow or what you fear? What distractions might be pulling you away from what really matters to you? And so these are the messages for today. So I hope this video found whoever needs to hear this message. Thanks for being here with me, and I'll see you again at our next video.